Another odd story I remember from my past. Me and my pops, we used to go to softball fields. He would play professional softball and whatnot. And, I would always, as a kid, go to the playground or go to the arcade machine, find myself House of the Dead Part 1, and just go to town with the quarters. And every once in a while, there would be people at the front desk who would give you a quarter for every softball you found around the rims of the fields. So me and a couple of kids went over, we got some softballs and we got quarters for it, and I ended up buying some sort of like fake tattoo, maybe like some sort of little like alien dude, or I would just go and play House of the Dead Part 1. Um, there was one day when we were leaving, me and my pops, and he has a big giant red truck. He still has it to this day. It's a Ford F-150, 2007 version, I do believe. And we would go and leave, right? The truck was gone. We didn't know where it went, and we ended up calling the police. He was very, very confused. I was very, very confused. I was afraid that we weren't going to go home. And one of his buddies dropped us off to the house, and over time the FBI started looking into this thing, and they eventually found the truck, and what they found in it were the remains of a hooker. Someone stole the truck, went up to Cincinnati, bought, fucked, and slayed a hooker inside the car. They said it was a bloodbath in there. Now, for some reason, the cops, SWAT team, whoever was investigating this, they were eyeing my dad at work. They would like stop and just kind of like look at him because no one knew who did the crime. No one knew anything about it. But for some reason, they kept on bothering my stepmother and my father at work, asking a bunch of questions. Almost arrested him, and he had to prove that he didn't do it. Now, eventually, the DNA they found from whatever substance came from the dirtbag who did it was not his, so we were in the clear. We were doing softball. First it was there, then it was not. So he still has the truck. It's been cleaned out and everything, but he likes to remind me every once in a while, because for some reason he finds that really, really funny in a dark way. He says, somebody, he says, you know where you're sitting, right? In the passenger seat, that a hooker got slain? I'm like, I'm very well aware. Does this not bother you whenever it happens? He's like, I'm just kind of shocked it happened. I had no idea. He just says, I just find it kind of just really, really odd and just weird that a hooker died right where you're sitting, CJ. Don't you think that's kind of weird? And I'm like, yeah, I think it's a little bit more than weird, sir. So yeah, he still has the truck. They eventually caught the guy who did it. Of course, he was a fucking druggie. A lot of people were in the softball fields. A lot of people hit it, but you could tell by their physique, and you can tell by the way they act, how they cussed every 2 minutes with tobacco spitting out of their mouth. Yeah, motherfucker, go over there in the first base, motherfucker, you be Scooby-Doo, motherfucker, those kind of guys. And we never seen too many people like that often, but we were at Huddy Park, so yeah, hooker got slayed, car was cleaned, and we had some weird legal trouble, even though we didn't do anything, but the cops couldn't find anyone else at the time, so they had to target father. But yeah, that's the red truck story.